Hey, what's going on? So, I want to do a video on the R. Kelly I Admit It video. Now I know I'm like a week late. I haven't had a chance to do anything on it, but I usually don't do these videos. This is one of my first videos that I have done responding to anything or any type of anything. So I'm just gonna freestyle it and just say what I think, and it may not be what everybody else thinks or what everybody else, opinion on R. Kelly is. First, I like R. Kelly's music to a certain extent. I'm not a big R. Kelly fan, but I like his music, and I think obviously what everybody knows, the man is, even though he can't read or write, he is a genius as far as when it comes to writing music. He has made a lot of hits. Whether you like his music or don't, you can't deny that he's made a lot of hits. He has a lot of classic songs, and you can't take that away from him. So I will start off by saying that. First of all, you know, I'm gonna probably come across very different than a lot of people that have made R. Kelly response videos to this song. Um, I'm gonna break it down. I really am, and I'm gonna talk about some things that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about. I have watched a couple R. Kelly response videos. Most of them were laughable. Most of them were saying that he didn't admit anything, which he did, but he just didn't admit what everybody wanted him to admit, and that's why everybody is laughing at it or mad or whatever. And he did admit some stuff. He did admit a lot. Just because he didn't admit what you wanted him to admit, then he he's wrong, or he didn't admit anything, which is not true. Um, so let me start off with what I liked about the song. First of all, to do a 19-minute song is crazy, but this shows how talented the man is. The man is very talented. To do a song like this, to put his heart and soul into to a song and get people to listen to it, and most people were like, "Oh, 19 minutes, no way," but a lot of people did listen to the song. So you got to give him his props. A lot of stuff he admitted in there about being touched on as a kid, and him not being able to read or write and this and that. And another thing, a lot of people that did response videos to his to the song and to just R. Kelly in general, I bet you a lot of them didn't read his book. I read his book. His book came out years ago. I want to say about 2013, 14. I read his book, and it was so long ago. I don't remember every single detail from the book, but I do know he admitted a lot of things in that book. Only thing he did not talk about in that book is the Aaliyah situation. He didn't even touch on that. It was like that didn't even happen, which I didn't agree with. I think he should have touched on it to a certain extent, but he didn't even touch on the Aaliyah situation. But everything else that he pretty much talked about in this song, he talked about in his book. So, anyways, um, for him to come out and admit a lot of things that he did in this song is just crazy. Um, Respond a couple of things that stood out to me, that when he talked about Steve Harvey, he talked about Tom Joyner. Um, I heard, as far as I heard, I don't know if it's true, but they said, I don't listen to Tom Joyner, so I don't know. But they said Tom Joyner said that he wasn't gonna play none of his music no more. I don't know what Steve Harvey said, but one thing I do find interesting is that these two men, these two guys that are very powerful, very influential in the community, in the black community. I bet you any kind of money these guys didn't try to reach out to R. Kelly when they were hearing the accusations and try to say, okay, let me find out what's going on. I bet you any kind of money. I'm not a Wendy Williams fan, but at least she talked to the man. At least she found out what was going on. At least she had a conversation with the man. I bet you any kind of money Steve Harvey or Tom Joyner never even tried to reach out. They just said, "Oh, we're not playing his music." Tom Joyner, "I'm not playing his music. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Forget R. Kelly. He's sick. He's this and that." But I bet you they ain't trying to reach out to the man and try to find out what's going on with him and try to help out another black man. And that's the problem. It's like, a lot of us in the community, we want to bash each other. We want to talk about each other, whether celebrity or not. When they hear stuff and then they assume when you hear it from multiple people it's true. It's not true. It don't have to be true. If you hear it from 10,000 people, it's not. It doesn't mean it's true. So it's just, that's one thing that stood out to me in the song. Being touched on as a kid, or when he was a teenager or whatever, being touched on and all that, that plays a role in a lot of things that people don't even think about. And one thing I will say is that, and a lot of people probably won't agree with me, and I hear the word pedophile. I hear R. Kelly is a pedophile. He preys on young women. And I don't agree with that. And I'm just going to say I do not agree with that 100%. I do not agree. I do not think that man is a pedophile, because if he's a pedophile, then there's a lot of celebrities that date young women that's way younger than them. So you might as well just call the whole majority of Hollywood men pedophiles, because they like way younger women. A pedophile is, if you look up the definition, basically a pedophile is someone that preys on little girls that are 13 and younger, and they prey on them. And there's real pedophile, and that's why I don't agree with people just throwing around the word pedophile with R. Kelly, because there's real pedophiles out there. There's real creeps that really do this stuff, and prey on little girls, and think it's okay. And those are the people that we need to really be focused on. I don't think R. Kelly is on that type of level. I really do not. Okay? I just think, now I will say this. Is it weird that he likes these young women, that he's 52, 51, 52 years old, and he's dating like 18, 19 years olds? Yes, it's weird. I don't condone it. I wouldn't do it. I think it's extraordinary weird. And if I was one of those young ladies' father, I would be pissed. But there's a lot of men that do it. A prime example is Russell Simmons dates women that's way, way younger than him. Like Russell said, he's not dating 30 years old. Russell is 60. And Russell probably wouldn't go no older than about 30, between 30 and 35 probably. Like, he's not going no older than that. Is he weird? He married Kimora Lee when she was what? 18, 19 years old? 20, something like that. So a way older man dating a younger woman, a way younger woman, is not weird. I mean, it is weird. It is weird. But it's not like he's the only one doing this. So you might as well just say Russell Simmons is weird. You might as well say all these different men. Hulk Hogan. Well, I'm not even going to go with Hulk Hogan. That's a whole different situation. But there's a lot of men that date women that's way younger than them. So you might as well just say they all pedophiles. So throwing around the word pedophile and saying that he preys on young women, I do not agree with that. Now, another thing I want to touch on was that what everybody uses is the Aaliyah situation. Is that him dating Aaliyah or marrying Aaliyah when she was 15 years old. Now, that's what everybody has. Everybody says, oh, he married Aaliyah when she was 15 years old. Now, I'm going to start off by saying, yes, was that sick? He was 27, she was 15 years old. Was that sick? Hell yeah, it was sick. Very sick. He was way older than her. He should have known better. But if you really sit down and put your thinking cap and take your emotions out of the situation, think about it. If I never, of course, I never met Aaliyah personally, but from what her interviews and seeing her interview, she seemed very mature for her age. She didn't seem like a regular, 15-year-old or 16-year-old or 17-year-old. So probably what happened was that they made a dumb mistake. They got caught up. They both got caught up and said, "Oh, let's go get married." And they did something stupid. Now, when that happened, they both came out and denied it. Now, Aaliyah denied it because it was bad on her career. And her people was probably like, hey, deny this, don't say nothing, act like it never happened. Because they didn't want that to be a tarnish on her career. Now, she was young. Now, I believe if she was still alive, she probably would have came out and probably admitted to it and probably said it wasn't just him. It wasn't to the point where he was preying on her and manipulating her and he made her marry her and all this different marry him and all this different stuff. I believe if she was still alive, she probably would have came out and probably admitted the truth and probably said that this is what happened. And if you really think about it, a lot of people, I have not heard anybody say anything about this. Aaliyah dated Dame Dash. Dame Dash was damn 9, 10 years older than her. So obviously Aaliyah liked older men. Aaliyah was very mature for her age. She had a thing for older men. She liked older men. Dame Dash was only 2 years younger. 2 years younger than R. Kelly. So it's all around the same thing. So obviously she liked older men. Okay, so people don't talk about that. It's the difference between Dame Dash and R. Kelly is that Dame Dash was dating her when she was legal. So people don't talk about that because she was legal. And again, R. Kelly was sick for doing that, but you can't put all the blame on him. Okay, you have to look at it from full circle and say that Aaliyah liked older men. And I think what has hurt him is that he hasn't said nothing about it, and I think he's doing it out of respect for him, for the family, and he has not said anything about Aaliyah. And Aaliyah is not here to defend herself. She died at a very young age, and she wasn't able to defend herself. And I think if she was still around, then both of them could kind of explain their side of the story, and it wouldn't look so bad. All the other stuff that people are saying about him, these women are saying about him, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's, at the end of the day, it's all accusations. No one knows if that stuff is true. Most of it is accusations. So whether you agree with him or not, at the end of the day, is accusations. So you can't sit here and say that he's a pedophile and that he preys on young women and this and that, and no one has any facts. And just because he did not admit to what you wanted him to admit to, then that doesn't mean that he didn't admit anything, because he did admit a lot. He did say a lot. Now, what I think is wrong with the song, first of all, in my opinion, I think that he should have not, if I was him, I would have did an interview. I would have never did a song. I would have did what Kanye West did and get someone you trust, like he did with Charlamagne. I would have found, I'm sure he could find someone, and I think this is where the reading and writing comes from, that he can't read or write, is that he don't trust anyone. And I'm sure he could have found someone, some kind of interviewer, and really had a sit-down interview, and really talk, and not just talk in a 19-minute song through melody, and really sit down and really talk to the people, and really explain himself. Second, I think the song was way too late. I think what happened is that, yes, I do think the song is about he's losing money, and that's why he's doing the song, because I think he does have an ego issue, and when the stuff first start coming out, he's probably like, this ain't no big deal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna keep on touring. My fans are gonna come support me. This is all gonna blow over, whatever. I'm not gonna respond to this garbage, which was wrong. And then it got so bad when Spotify and Pandora took away his music, people stopped boycotting his tours and his shows, and he started losing money. Now that's when it's become, I gotta respond now. I think that was wrong, and I think that was a bad decision. Um, and I just think it's crazy that this man is 51 years old and talking about he can't read and he can't write. And I do think I know a lot of people were saying that there was a lot of excuses in the song and he wasn't taking responsibility, and I do agree with that. I do agree. Like it doesn't seem like he was taking a lot of responsibility for what he did. He admitted some things, but he didn't say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this." And I think that's why he should have did a sit down interview, because I think in a sit down interview, then he could have said, "Hey, I'm getting help," or "Yeah, I did this," or "I mean, I was wrong for this." So that's why I think he messed up at, and I don't agree with that, and I'm just shocked that he's been in the game for so long, and no one has told him, "Hey, man, you need to get some help, man. Something's wrong, man. You need to get some help. You need to get some professional help. You need to get some therapy or whatever, man, or something." And probably, you know what? And it's probably people in his corner that probably said that, and he probably chose not to listen. I remember Chris Brown was saying that people think that he have a yes man, but at the end of the day, it's up to him if he wants to listen or not. And I think that's with R. Kelly. Now, is R. Kelly? R. Kelly is sick. Yes, he is sick. I think he is an egomaniac, and he doesn't seem like the nicest person in the world. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't seem like the nicest person in the world, but I don't think that he's a pedophile. So I don't think he's a pedophile. I don't think he's, you know he preys on young women. Um, I think it's weird that he likes extremely young women, but there's a lot of men in Hollywood that like extremely young women. So you can't sit here and say that about him, and say that he's a pedophile and throw that word around so loosely because you don't like him or you don't like his music. I mean, you could not like him, but there's real pedophiles out there, and there's real men out there that prey on young women. There's real people out there, not just men, but people out there that touch on little boys and touch on little girls, and that is sick. And to throw around such a serious word like pedophile and prey on women, it's wrong, man. It's messed up. It's wrong, and that's what bothers me about this situation. Now, another thing I had seen. Last thing I'm going to talk about. I know his ex-wife, responded to the song, and now that's a whole different situation. Now I know, like I said earlier, I read his book, and in his book, you know what? When it comes to his wife, I do believe her. Like I know she said that he abused her, he haven't talked to his kids, and this and that and that and this, and he's basically a deadbeat dad. And you know what? I believe her. And in his book, he did say that he treated her wrong. So the stuff that she's saying is legit, but never did she say that he's pedophile, and she's way younger than him. So never did she say he's a pedophile. Never did she say he preys on young women. So I believe her, but I just I believe her, but and I think he was wrong for what he did. If he did do that, when because he probably did do that with his wife, and treated her wrong, but I don't think that has anything to do with being a pedophile. So um, it's just a crazy situation, man. At the end of the day, I just hope he gets help. I hope that he you know figures out what's going on. Um, Hopefully he will do a sit down interview with somebody, and he really you know turn the situation around. And people use the sex tape thing. That's another thing. People use the sex tape thing. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I never really watched that tape, and Who knows? He could have been set up. He said he was set up. Who knows? He could have been set up. I think he's an easy target. I think that a lot of people know that he likes young women, and he's very sexual, and I think he's a really easy target. And when they see that you're an easy target, they could utilize that. I do believe that, but who knows? Was it him in the tape? Who knows? But that's all I want to say about it. Like I said, you could comment whatever you wanna say. Let me know, good or bad. Like I said, I'm just shooting off the top of my head, so I didn't have no notes. I'm just saying how I feel. Hopefully, I didn't miss anything. Hopefully, I didn't bore you. So, holla at your boy. This is your boy, Jamel J. Slim, out.